Hi, this is David Rooney from Revelstoke Current. We're doing a little program today on the BC Transit bus service in Revelstoke, and I have with me Councillor Tony Scarcella. Tony is the chairman of the City Council's Transit Committee, and we're in one of the city's new buses, running the brand new buses, and this is the first day of the month-long free service throughout the city. Tony, what can you tell me about council's decision?
Guys, this is one of my pet peeves right here. There's a bus stop. How am I supposed to stop, let people on and off?
That's bus driver Alan Lehman. Alan, thank you. Tony, can you tell me a little bit, please, about council's decision to go with the new bus, acquire new buses, and to offer free service over the month of December?
Well, David, I let you know we've been working a year to give a better service and faster service to the people in town. We thought that the old service took too long to get from point A to point B, so we worked harder with BC Transit and tried to make it faster and more efficient.
And do you think it's going to improve ridership here? Because it's one of the problems with the service is ridership has never been particularly high.
That's a good question. That's the most important, ridership, because that's why we put new service, so we improve the ridership.
How do you try and get people to use the bus? I mean, you know, there are plenty of people in town, and I'm one of them who drives a lot. And you know, I'm usually alone in a vehicle. You know, there are plenty of other people who are driving and could be using the bus as well. How do you get them to buy into that?
Well, Dave, this a month of year we're promoting to ride in the bus and get comment, and that's why everybody ride free this month.
Mm-hmm. Alan, how long have you been driving buses?
I've been driving the bus for a little over 2 months.
Yeah?
Yes.
And what do you...
Pardon me?
What do you think about the service that's offered and ridership?
Well, I like to think that the new service that we're providing is going to improve the bus. And from what I've seen so far this morning, we've had half our riders are new riders. So it is working. I'm driving, so I got to concentrate.
Yeah, no, I understand.
May you repeat the question again? Sorry.
Do you think that I'll ask you a separate question? Do you think you're getting more new riders?
Yes. So far this morning, I've had half my riders. I've had 22 riders this morning. Half of them have been new ones.
And 22 riders. How does that compare to a normal?
A normal
morning.
It's up by about 20%.
Oh.
It is free right this moment, so we are going to get some extra riders at the beginning.
Now you say you've been driving for a few months.
Yes.
What things do you notice as a driver that you think could improve the bus experience for riders in town? What about bus stops?
Could use a few more bus stops for the riders, yes. Some people complain that they're a little far apart. We have increased our certain stops where now we've got the post office, the senior center. We split up the runs to the Big Eddie and Arrow Heights.
Mm-hmm.
Not Arrow Heights, but Columbia Park.
Yep.
So that's supposed to improve it. So far what I've seen, it has worked a little bit, but there's still a few tweaks that we have. We need a few more bus shelters in certain areas.
Where?
And we need the bus stops cleared.
Yeah. When you say shelters in certain areas, what areas do you think?
There should be one at in the Big Eddie, back of Griffith Road. That is one of our more popular areas that we have riders getting on and off. Where would be another one? We got one at the hospital. We have one another one in the Big Eddy would be improvement, and up at the car wash where you put in a new bus stop up at the car wash.
Is that the RER one up on
Yes.
23? Okay.
Yeah.
Really good ideas. Tony, you talk about something like acquiring new bus shelters. Is there any way we could have those kind of things that are made here so they actually produce some kind of employment and revenue for our own citizens as opposed to, say, ordering them from some company down in the Lower Mainland?
I do believe that if you bring a good business case, you have to get a lot of passengers on and off. I think we can get some money from infrastructure.
Yeah, that'd be good. I know there are people there's been some talk about having wooden bus shelters that are made locally. That'd be a plus, particularly if they were really good looking.
That's what we think bus shelter at the senior center.
Yeah. Do you hear what kind of comments do you hear, Tony, as chairman? As chairman of the committee?
Well, I've been a lot of meetings. The most complaining was that it took too long from 20 to 20.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons why the service changed.
Yes.
New schedule. What about signage? I mean, there are no real signs about service that are posted anywhere. At least I haven't seen one. You know, like tells you what time the bus comes to.
Yeah, like down in Kelowna on the bus stop, there's a list with the times that they come.
Yeah.
Yes, that would help if there was just a
Thank you,
schedule.
Linda.
You're welcome.
What's the schedule like? What's the
Yeah,
schedule?
if you go, most of them do have some sort of schedule
Yeah.
posted inside, so you know where what time the next bus comes.
Which inside the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the idea of these plastic shelters, the ones with these plastic domes,
Yeah.
Revelstoke, no, it sounds good. Ones would be better, I think.
I agree, and I think there are people in town who could build us some really
exactly.
good looking, really good looking
Yes.
wooden shelters.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe if they might even be something we could market elsewhere.
Yeah.
Very
It's
good
true.
idea.
What
A
about
very pretty town.
Alan? What about young people? Do you see very many young people using the bus? I mean, most of the time when I've used the bus, and that's not a lot, it's always been older people like myself or even older.
I
who
have a
used it.
few riders from Arrow Heights. They after school they get on the bus and they go downtown. They go to the rec center or they go to the arena. So they ride the bus. But I don't have a whole lot of riders, young children riding the bus like going to school and stuff. But now that the new bus service is in, people down in Southside area
Yep.
will be able to take the bus and be able to go to school. We just gotta promote that. We haven't promoted it. We gotta allow them to know that instead of being able to take a car and drop your kids off, that there is bus service. We don't and to use the bus service.
So you think, Alan, if we promote more, that we can get more school kids in the bus?
You betcha, I do believe so.
I have a question.
And you know, the best place to start with there would be to go to the schools itself and talk to all the parents that are in their cars, sitting there waiting.
I'll do that. That's all right.
What about extending hours?
Sorry, what's that, Linda?
What about extending hours? A lot of people go out and visit their families and stuff, and you like to stay past 6 o'clock at night. You can't get a ride home because your family or whatever, they've had new drinks, and that's, you know, a no-no. So, and a lot of people cannot walk that great distance from where they are to home. And it'd be nice if they could keep hours longer. I realize it's a small town, but I mean, even if they did it, say, in the summertime or something to try. And like in the winter, we got all these skiers in, and they're out party. And they definitely don't go home at 6 o'clock and close the doors and everything, go to bed. So, you know, they're out enjoying everything else.
What do you think, Tony?
We discussed that, and was a little bit too expensive.
Too expensive? Yeah.
To extend the service.
Mhm.
Because we pay now, I do believe it's $16 per rider.
Something like that, yeah.
$16 per rider, that's what it costs
Oh,
for
yeah.
the taxpayers.
Okay.
So we try to stay with hours, like business hours. Yeah. So we don't want to spend any money.
Well, yeah, that's understandable. Do you think eventually, maybe down the road, that it would be something to look into?
Let's say if they request it, people request it, yes. We never say no.
Oh, okay, all right.
We try to encourage people to come with us, so we only raise monthly pass $4 from the previous one. So we try to encourage people to come with us.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see.
Well, I try to use it as much as possible. I'm even going to sheep court, so there is a stand out in the front, but a lot of times I'll walk over to the plaza and catch a rate in the plaza instead. And it's nice and handy to have one out in the front.
Try to be part of, because you see me every day we see each other, and I try to keep up with the report. Yes, I do talk to people. It makes for a better day. It makes for good. It's good all the way around to communicate with people.
So you're not just a driver, you're a bit of a tour guide and everything else?
Basically, yes. I have taken people up to the Arrow Heights, tourists in the summertime, touring around the city to see what they can see and what we have to offer them. And it is a very good way to look around the city. Because you're not driving and you get to go, oh, there's that place. Oh, there's that place. And you get to see what our town has to offer.
Alan, like you said, you can get in touch with the passengers.
Yeah.
Next couple of weeks, I appreciate it if you do.
Have a nice
And
day.
I'll
You too,
get back
thank you
to
very much.
Yeah.
After Christmas, I'll be talking to you again.
Okay. I've been
Thank you.
promoting our service as much as possible. Telling everybody we have free bus rides this month. And it has worked, you know. Yeah. And if I've been seeing lately, if I've seen somebody walking, I stop and I ask them if they need a ride. If they would like a ride. And I've seen them get back on the bus after repeat riders after that.
Yeah, and I'll talk to you after Christmas what comments they have. That'd be great.
And I am keeping track to see how many riders we are at, even though I'm not taking fares.
Yeah.
I am keeping track.
That's great. That's great. I like that. And then we have a comparison.
My biggest complaint is people parking at bus stops. Parking the wrong side of the road, going the wrong direction. It is huge. I have to admit, people at Revelstoke are spoiled. That's because we're such a laid back town. You know?
Only take a few tickets. You know, they'll stop.
But the bylaw officer guy has to do his job. If he does his job, everything works.
Even if they give them a couple of warning tickets at the beginning.
You know, I've talked to people stop off at Grizzly Plaza and park there and do their thing. You know, I mention it to them, you know, you're not allowed to park here, you know, like, and it's just like, huh. And they turn around, ignore me, and walk into the store, especially the ski store. Stupid.
That's because they're not locals, they're on vacation.
2 or 3 times a day, there's backed up traffic because somebody's inside Skookum and parked there. They need to have some vehicles towed just to teach some people a lesson, hit them in the pocketbook.
Tony, you've been here, what, 60 years?
Pretty close.
Pretty close. Was there a bus service when you were here?
No.
No?
No, we started when I got to 92, got first time. And I think 93 we started lobbying the government. It took about 4 years to get buses.
Yeah. What did people think? If you think back to those days, what did people think about bus service?
They love it.
Yeah.
Because
Was it widely used?
a little bit more than it is now.
Yeah.
But also we were one the community that we didn't have the buses. We were behind time,
Yeah.
and that's why we pressed the government to order buses out of which we did.
Tony, people want to get a bus schedule. Where do they find them in town? You know?
I do believe that the community center,
Yeah. City Hall,
yes,
community center.
yeah. But I'm going to check the city hall when I get off to make sure they have them.
Do they have them at Malone's and 7-Eleven?
I never checked.
No, those would probably be good places for them too. The City Hall will be closes at what, at 4:30?
The most important is that we have to listen to people what they want and how this service work, and so should wait for a month or 2-3 months and see what people, if the people like it and ridership improve, and then we go from there. But for all, I encourage people to ride the bus, because riding the bus is not just riding the bus, it's environment friendly, and leaving your car home and help cause get ridership up.
Okay. Tony, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave.